name's Paul Adams. Um, Currently, I'm a full-time paramedic. Been doing it about 24 years, and trying to incorporate my own business. I've been doing woodworking. I was approached by Skip Strauss, who has EMS Ministries. Wanted to know if I wanted to participate as an EMT on the Stronger movie, and through that, I came to know all you fine folks and have been blessed with it. So here I am. So through my career of doing this, when I got into EMS, I was a trauma junkie, like most people. Seen lots of bad things, and of course, coming from a smaller town, you knew most of the people that you ran on. I can't speak for everybody, but I know for me, I was the typical deal where you kind of dissociate and you don't think about the individual, you think about the incident. So you don't really put a lot of, oh my gosh, it's somebody's family member. But I remember running lots of fatalities of friends of mine, rolling up on scene and holding the hands of a lot of people that died as they took their last breaths and was with them. But it wasn't until 1997 when my partner and I had just finished a 24-hour shift and stayed over and worked another 12 hours. So that was 36 hours, and was getting ready to go home when a transfer came from take a patient from Clovis to Lubbock, Texas. We chose to stay over and do that extra hours. My partner and I didn't know who was the last one that drove and which one was the one that was in the back, so we decided to flip a coin, and the winner of the coin toss was the driver. Well, I won the coin toss, and I was driving that day. We've taken a terminally cancer patient who was basically the family just didn't like the facility they were in and wanted to go to another facility. And it had been raining that day, and everything was going good, and probably maybe roughly 35 minutes out, we were driving the left-hand lane. I was in the ruts and kind of felt the rutted roads, so I was going to change lanes. Well, we hydroplaned, and as we hydroplaned, we was going off the road. According to DPS, they kind of rated that road there like a 0 to 10, 0 bad, 10 being great. The road condition, because of everything, was probably about a 1. As we were headed off the road, I seen a telephone pole coming head on for us, so I was trying to swerve to miss it. Well, then I hit the shoulder, and I went from about a 1 traction to a 10 traction. We spun sideways. I clipped the telephone pole, my driver's door, and we rolled the ambulance a couple times. We come to rest on our wheels. At that point, I looked in the back, and it kind of looked like a bomb went off. I was trying to get on the phone and radio and holler for somebody that had seen that witnessed the accident came up and was asking if they could help me. And I handed them their phone, and I said, just tell them where we're at, because right now I don't know what's going on. When I went to the back, I found the stretcher had came out of the hooks, turned on its side, and the patient was still strapped in, was laying on her side. My partner was laying on the floor with his head toward the back of the doors, and the bench seat had ripped off. When I pulled the bench seat off him, he was basically blue and purple from about chest up. And I guess that's where the training kicked in, where you treat the one that you feel like more salvageable. And even though I had a terminal patient, I don't know. I guess, like I say, I guess that's where training kicks in. So I took care of her. Another ambulance showed up. They couldn't fly him out. The crew took my partner to the hospital, and I had to stay with my patient and transfer her to a hospital. I found out later that day that the patient had passed away. My partner ended up dying the next day, pulling him off life support from all kinds of internal injuries. About a week later, we had a critical incident debriefing come in and sit around in the conference room at work with probably about a good 20 of my peers. And everybody just kind of spoke how they felt in the situation. And I mean, I had some people say, hey, I'm glad it was you because I don't think I could have handled it. The thing that hit me the hardest is I had one of them call me a murderer and told me I was murdered because I killed a partner. So it was hard to deal with a lot of things. And I thought about quitting. And for whatever reason, I chose and went on and increased my level certification. And then just kind of, I guess, lots of ups and downs through that period. Well, in 2000, I came home from work one day and walked through the living room, walked past my kids, walked past the wife, went to the bedroom, closed the bedroom door, turned the shower on, went to the bedroom closet and got in the shotgun, and was going to shoot myself. And I thought, well, that's going to make too much noise. I can't do that. So I went back, put the shotgun up, and I was going to stuff wash rags in my mouth and slice my arteries and just bleed myself out in the shower. And that way it'd be a clean mess and it would be a big deal. And then for some reason, I was like, what are you thinking? You can't do this. Because for so long, I've always considered, suicide as being a coward's way out. Selfish, self-centered, and everything else. And it probably wasn't until that time that I realized that, wow, it just kind of comes on. So, kind of long story of that is I ended up getting divorced. I've been through, sadly, my share of marriages, and I think the problem that I suffer today is I've never found me, and I've chosen different hobbies. I went from natural bodybuilding and getting in shape and doing that and going to competitions and winning and felt great to now I try to build furniture full time as a stress reliever. But I think the positive that came out of most of that is through my career since that time in EMS, most of my patients have been suicidal, depressed people. And being able to, you tell them, it's like, I understand. They go, you don't have a clue. And then sharing your story, it's like, wow. And as far as I know, and all the people I've ever talked to, I've only had one that actually committed suicide like a month later afterwards. And that was a 17-year-old kid. But, so I think a lot of positive came from that, but I know it's definitely has torn me apart, for many, many years. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Probably as far as the job's concerned, as far as being most helpful, again, is being able to talk to people on the ambulance when you show up that are depressed. Because the one thing that I've learned is, my first wife was in mental health resources, and listen to her side back then when I used to always say, you're just selfish, you're self-centered, you don't care about anybody but yourself. To me, I've learned and realized that that's really not true. There's a lot of people who cry for help that we just don't see the warning signs. You have lots of ups and downs. I think a lot of us, we ride that fence, and it's just a matter of which side we fall off on. I had mentioned in another deal before that, we're like a board that's, 16-foot board, and you got brick stacked in the center, and, today's stressor, tomorrow's stressor, and all these add up until at some point either, it just finally snaps, and we hope we can get to people before it snaps, because suicide is really not a selfish thing. It's just, I think some people just get to the end and they feel like there's nowhere else to go. I know I try to tell myself that whether if I wake up tomorrow, it's a good day because another day being here. If I don't wake up, it's a great day because I'm in heaven. But I'm hoping that I can share with folks, this is where I started, this is what I went through, and this is how I deal with it. And yeah, every day is not good, but you make a choice, and there is help out there. And the more of us that can talk together, because so many of us are afraid to talk because of, I'm weak, you don't understand. And there's power in numbers, and that's what we're here for. I say I never have enough friends. It's always a blessing to meet new people, especially positive Christians. Again, today I still struggle with marriage and family and kids and everything else. And I've got a long ways to go. And, I know I am probably not the best and easiest person to live with at times. And I don't want to use PTSD as a crutch, as saying, well, I got this issue or this disease or whatever, feel sorry for me. It's not that. Because I have the right to wake up every morning and choose a deal. So meeting all of you folks has been a major, major blessing. In today's world with all the bad things we see, you can't have enough good positive influences in your life. And surrounding yourself with good Christian people is a major blessing. And it's been fun being a part of the movie. Even if I was a short clip, it doesn't matter. I mean, hey, I felt honored to be part of it. So I thank y'all very much. I'm hoping the movie will touch I'm hoping the movie will let people know that it's okay. That you're not alone. That every day is a life challenge. And no matter how much you surround yourself with positive things, that you're still going to have those moments. And knowing that you're not the only one out there that's gone through this, that there's been people for years and centuries that have experienced this. And it's just in today's time that we know we're more aware of it. You don't have to be ashamed to ask for help. And that's the hardest thing you can do is to make that phone call or look at somebody and just say, I need help. Because if you don't, either A, you're never going to have much of a life, or two, you're going to finally have that brick that snaps the board and you're going to kill yourself. And even though I hope that if that's what happens, that you end up in a better place, there's still lots of people here that you leave behind that don't understand. They so many people don't even know you're depressed, let alone that you got issues. So, everything you do affects probably millions of people. So